Hello, my name is Ankit Ratnatuladar and welcome to the second episode of Gear Up. As we promised in the last episode of Gear Up, this time we're going to talk about how to maintain your vehicle in this extended period of the lockdown. In this time of this global pandemic, we're doing whatever it takes to keep ourselves healthy and fit. But are we forgetting about our vehicles in this time? In this episode, we'll go about what mistakes we're making while maintaining our vehicle and what we should actually do to make sure that they are in top condition when this is all over. According to the statement of the government, it's said that the lockdown is supposed to end this May. So if it is actually going to end this time, we must make sure that our vehicles are in top conditions to come back out on the roads. To make sure that you have no problems when you're out again, we have a few steps that you should properly look into to make sure that you have no problems whatsoever. The first thing we're going to talk about is about how to protect the exterior of your vehicle. So with our conditions right now, the harsh rain and the sunlight, these are both a very lethal combination to damage the exterior of your vehicle. The first thing is, if you have a shed like this, it is always recommended that you park your vehicle under the shed. Unfortunately, this shed is occupied by another vehicle. I last washed my bike a week ago, and after that, I've had it covered with the motorcycle cloth at all times. And even though it's always covered, it has accumulated a lot of dust in just that short period of time. So it shows that you should actually be cleaning your vehicle more often when it's parked. So next, let's talk about the tires. The tires are the part that supports your bike when it's parked. The whole weight of your bike is at this point of the tires, but not just only on bikes, even on cars. When you're parked for an extended period of time, make sure that you move your vehicles even if it's just a few inches. Doing that will ensure that you don't have any bald spots on your tires. Tire pressure is another important part that you should consider at all times. Having low tire pressure also aids in forming bald spots on your tires. So if you don't have the proper equipment to get the reading of your tire pressure, you can just get the general idea by just pressing on the tire with both of your thumbs at the same point. This gives you a general idea of how much air you have in the tire. So you can use electrical or manual pumps to fill air in your tires. So this is an electrical pump. You can connect this to the 12-volt socket available in your car and directly plug it to fill air in your vehicle. This also has a small PSI bar which shows how much air that you've filled in your vehicle. So if you don't have a pump like this, you can use this manual pump that you have. This can also fill air, but it might be a little harder, but you'll definitely get a workout out of this. While we're still in the conversation about tires, we can talk about chain maintenance as well. The chain that you're seeing right now is very rusted. This is due to the fact that I couldn't get my hands on a chain cleaner and a chain lube before this lockdown. I tried my best to keep it as dry and as lubricated as possible, but I couldn't just keep it in top-notch condition without those products. So what I would recommend is, if your bike gets wet in the rain or after you wash your bike, just thoroughly go over it with a chain cleaner and then just always lube it up. This will ensure that your chain doesn't rust and it stays in top-notch condition throughout the time. Rusted chains are pretty bad. They cause a lot of noise when you're riding it. It reduces the smoothness of your vehicle and it tends to possess the chance of breaking off when you're riding. So it possesses a lot of hazards and discomfort while you ride. So make sure that you clean your chain and lubricate it every time it gets wet or you wash your bike. Try to maintain a fuel tank whenever possible. This prevents from evaporation and condensation happening inside your tank. The evaporation and the condensation that's taking place inside your tank will cause rust formation inside out, which can lead to potential breaking off and leakages in your tank. So it is recommended that you maintain as much fuel as you can in your tank, not overfilling it, but keeping it just enough so that there isn't space for the condensation and evaporation to take place. Let's see how much we have in our tank. So in the indicator below, it's showing that the fuel level is just 1 bar below the full tank. This is also because the bike is parked on its side stand, which leads the fuel to all collect in one side of the tank, leaving more space on the other side, which will slightly hamper your fuel readout. You have to start your bikes in an interval of few days as well. This ensures that your battery doesn't lose its charge and it is in running condition at all times. But not just that, just starting your bike isn't enough. Try and ride it around if you have a little bit of space or you have a freeway where you can just cruise around in slow speeds. That is because it'll move all your moving parts such as the gears, the chain and everything in motion, and it'll keep it from just clogging up. So the last time this bike was started was 2 days ago. So I'm going to start it and I'm going to leave it on neutral for a few minutes so that it gets the charge going on to the battery. The same goes for cars as well. You need to start them at an interval of 2 to 5 days because they run out of battery too. So you might think that when your vehicle is parked, there's not going to be any battery drain. But in fact, there are a lot of sensors and different things that are constantly working even when our cars are not turned on, which ultimately drains the battery of your vehicle. So if you're going to go out somewhere and you won't be able to start your vehicles, then it's best that you unplug the battery from your vehicle to save as much charge as possible. Other than that, all you can do is constantly charge your battery or connect it to a trickle charger so that it maintains its charge. When it comes to parking your car, try to alternate between parking with your gear on or with your handbrakes, because if you just depend on your handbrake and you leave it on for an extended period of time, it tends to jam up. So you can either park it with the gear or with your handbrake. Other than that, you can also rely on the traditional way where you either use a brick or a wooden block to make sure that your vehicle doesn't move forwards or backwards when you're not using any of them or when you're just using one of them. As I've mentioned before, this shed is occupied by another vehicle. So what I do is I use a different cover for my bike to protect it from all the environmental elements. So this is a cover that I custom made for my bike using the measurement of it. We hope that all these tips and tricks that we've just mentioned throughout this episode will come in handy to make sure that your vehicle is in top condition. Let's maintain our vehicles and be ready when the lockdown ends. If you liked our video, please like, share, and subscribe with your friends. Please follow my Instagram, where I'll be revealing a lot of things about the next episode, and I'll also be taking suggestions from all of you on what I should do next. So I'll put up my Instagram handle here, and it'll also be linked in the description below. So make sure to follow me there as well. I'll see you soon in the next episode of Gear Up. Thank you.